What's up, everybody? It's Graham from Stronghold. In this week's video, we're talking a little bit about water, a little bit more about pigs, and a little bit more about my nighttime routine of keeping the fire going in the middle of winter in the dome. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you're already subscribed, thank you very much. I'm very excited to see all these new subscribers, people who are interested in what we're doing. Keep it up. And if there's something else that you'd like to see, please let me know, because this whole thing is very new to me, and any input I can get would be very helpful. So the reality is, for us living off grid, we don't have water yet. So thankfully, in our circumstances, I drive by the old farmhouse where my parents live to get to my property. That's fantastic because we don't have running water here yet. Now, if we didn't have the farmhouse and didn't have a source of water literally at the bottom of our driveway, I would not have moved in here with my family, because water is essential. It's essential for cleaning and hygiene, drinking, and animals. I mean, you need tons and tons of water. The other thing about water is, typically in your house, you have no idea how much you're using. And even if I was to start saying gallons here, liters there, blah, 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 I know for me, there's no way I'd be able to visualize how much is 24 gallons of water, 32 gallons of water, even 8 gallons of water, an 8-gallon jug. What does that even look like? I don't know. So here's a really simple visual representation of how much water we're going through currently on our homestead. That's with 2 adults, 4 kids, 2 cats, and 2 pigs. So check this out. These jugs are 4 liters each. This is how many jugs we go through every day to every 2 days. And that one is 10 liters. This amount of water, it varies greatly day to day and week to week. Depending on what you're doing, dictates how much water you're going to use. For example, if you were to have some guests come over and you had double the amount of dishes that you had last week, you're going to use a lot of water. The other thing that takes a lot of water in your house is your toilet. We use a composting toilet. That saves us a lot of water. And I mean a lot of water. So putting it simply, if you're thinking about moving off grid and away from a water source, this right here, this is your reality every day, every second day, every third day. And if you don't stay on top of your water, you will suffer. So I got my gloves on here. Basically, I can carry 3 or 4 of these jugs in each hand. And, well, I stopped going to the gym because, well, I'm homesteading. Really, there's nothing left to say. So inside, we actually have 4 more of those containers. And sometimes even those get used up. The amount of water you use is always changing. But the thing to remember here is you use a lot of water. Water is very important.
His raven black hair and a heart that is loving and wild.
Keep my bottles like this so then I don't gotta scrounge them up all over the back of the truck. Well guys, I've been up since about 5 this morning. It was about -12 last night. Basically the routine I have to keep the fire going is I set an alarm for every 2 hours. I get up, throw some wood in, I go back to sleep. Well, at least for me, I found that just setting an alarm every 2 hours, it ensures that that fire is going to stay hot. And that it's not going to go out during the night, which is super important. But I'm sure you can imagine setting an alarm, 4 alarms during the night. After about the 3rd time, you're really not tired anymore. You kind of get woken up. So that's why I was up at 5 o'clock this morning. My alarm went off to change the fire. And yeah, I just couldn't go back to sleep. Time to feed the piggies. So usually the first thing I do in the morning, go say hi to the pigs. We'll go see how they're doing. Hey, Lulu. Hey, Hank. They mess their water up all the time. This is their water dish. Ridiculous. Here you go, guys. Hey, Hanky. Oh, it's okay, bud. So when we purchased Hank, there was a noticeable difference in his skin and coat. I asked the lady what she was feeding him, and if she feeds her pig mini pig food, which I'm not sold is even a good idea, and she just feeds her pig normal grower hog feed. Where these are a small breed, they sell you on the idea of buying mini pig feed that has less protein, but I'm starting to wonder if they just do that so they can put less good stuff in the feed and charge you the same amount for it. But I can tell you one thing, Hank looks much better than Lulu. So I think going forward, after this bag runs out, we are gonna just switch to standard hog feed, grower feed they call it. And for the time being, with the food we have amped up the amount of food they're getting by quite a lot. Yeah, at least double or 3 times what we were giving them before. And since we've done that, they have not nipped at each other one time. There's been no arguments between these 2 pigs. As soon as I finished the pig pen, I was walking away thinking, from the inside, they can get at this hay down here because they can put their little nose into here. See that? So knowing pigs, they'll get their nose in there and they'll pull it all out. So the top's going fine. It's just right down there where they can get at the plastic. So I got Kai out here doing some farm work today. Cleaning out the pig pen. How do you like scooping poop, Kai?
If I didn't have to, I wouldn't.
Yeah. Hank's happy.
Hank.
He's ready to poo-poo again, right there.
Great.
Watch out, Hanky.
Right.
All right, so we're out here at the pig ark. I got Kai, my son, cleaning this out, so I don't have to walk on the pig poop. And, well, I mean, you got to clean up this pig ark regularly anyway. And we're going to put some of these 1x10 boards across the bottom, like I was alluding to earlier. And that's going to keep the pigs from pulling the straw out of the wall. And it's going to make it a lot better for them. So let's do it. on out. Here. Really? Look at that. Look at that, Lulu. There. Now you guys won't get into trouble. Hey, you don't know what's good for you. Pulling out the insulation out of your own walls, that's not very smart now, is it? But you are a pig, and I am a human, apparently. So, I guess I'm the one who's supposed to know better, not you. Baby Tart having a sleep outside. Loves that fresh air. Okay, so if you've watched some of our previous videos, I've mentioned that inside the dome behind me, our #1 issue that we're dealing with right now is a huge amount of condensation. The issue is that the building here, there's cold air touching the outside of the dome, and the heat inside the dome is right on the other side of this. There's a little bit of insulation, but not enough, okay? So as the heat hits this surface on the inside, the two different temperatures create condensation. It's just science, okay? It's easy to sit there and say, oh yeah, just add some insulation. This is a geodesic dome, okay? There's nowhere to even hold the insulation. It's a very, very unique building with its own set of problems. So it's wearing on my wife. She does not like to see all this water along the edges, nor do I. So I'm coming up with my own solution, short term, to deal with the water landing on the floor. What I'm gonna do is basically create flashing that starts on the inside wall, runs down, and then comes out of the building. So as the moisture runs down the wall, it'll hit this flashing and then hopefully make its way out of the building, at least a bit better than it is now. There's a piece of rope and it goes all the way around. You can see over there, it just helps keep the vinyl down so it's not blowing up and keeping the air and stuff from coming up inside and making us freezing cold. We're gonna remove this, and then basically I'm gonna get some of the same insulation. It's a water can't go through it. So we'll use that as flashing because it's flexible. And for now, this is what we're gonna try. So I'll bring you along for the ride, and we're gonna give this a go. So the rope goes all the way along, and then I just have it tied right here. And I purposely did that nice and easy so that if I ever had to remove the rope, it wouldn't be a pain. Now that's frozen solid. So give me a second here. Okay, so that's undone. We got a little bit of movement with our rope here. So I'm gonna make my way over to where I'm gonna start this flashing. And I think I can just pull it away, and I don't actually need to undo this frozen knot here. So let's head over there. So I'm inside the dome now, and I think my idea is gonna work. It might not look the best, but it's better than having wet floors. You can see here the condensation in this dome is preposterous. Look at this. I mean, it's ridiculous. So this is my big plan. And I gotta say, so far it's working pretty good. If you don't know what I'm talking about, see this little flap right here? Before, the condensation would run down, hit this bar, and just dribble all over the floor and, you know, come inside. So basically what I did was take this insulation bubble wrap stuff. It's going right outside the building. So as the drop comes down, it lands in here and slides out that way outside of the building. And as you can see, we're completely dry here right now. So it seems to be working pretty good. I'm gonna continue the rest of the building and give you an update on that, but so far so good. And this is the finished Meranti board. I wouldn't call it completely finished because I want to put up some trim pieces, make it look a bit nicer, but for the time being, the sappy wood is completely covered up and the kids no longer are getting a bunch of splinters in their beds here. Hey, Pam. This is Primrose. She likes it up here because it's nice and warm. One other thing that I'd like to show you is this fan here. So this is a 20-inch fan, and one of the ways we've been keeping the whole house warm is, well, with this fan. Instead of putting it in the center up here, we just have it mounted on the edge of the loft pointing downwards. This thing is 20 inches, so it moves a lot of air. What we found is that obviously heat rises, and the kids were really hot, like they were sweating every night. So we had one fan, wasn't doing it, tried some other things, didn't work out. This so far has been the best solution for us. It's a bit loud, but everybody gets used to it, and really the kids don't mind it. And this thing chucks serious amounts of air. It blows all that hot air down and rotates it all around the dome. So if you're in a dome and you need to move some air, 20-inch fan like that seems to be doing really good. Hey, thanks so much for watching this week's video. I'll see you next Sunday. Ciao for now.